All right, thanks, Dave. Obviously, a terrific team win. Really happy for our guys. I think they, for the most part, followed the plan. I don't know if we talked about making 13 threes, but defensively tried to control them the best that we could. Minimizing their attempts from three. And obviously they got really good players and have scored a lot of points, but I thought just up and down the lineup we got great contributions. Obviously Connor comes in and knocks down some shots, but John, Kamari McGee, even though he played about 6 minutes, I thought they were very impactful. Nolan Winters play continues to learn as a freshman, so just a lot of good things across the board, and happy for our guys. And this league is it's going to continue to move forward. We got a big one, as they all are, Wednesday night in Columbus. Questions, Ben?
Greg, you mentioned when you played Iowa that the matchup didn't really kind of fit a siege and defensively. What did you like about the matchup today, putting him in there, and did what you see today, was that a carryover from what he's been doing in practice the last couple weeks?
If you pull out yesterday, yeah. Were you at practice yesterday, Ben? Mm-hmm. Okay. It's as I told Andy Katz on the BTN after the game, it was practice better. That's been for 150 years, that's a pretty common, approach. If you practice well and try to correct some things. I thought he had some good things yesterday. I thought some things he struggles with, but it's not for him wanting to try to, he's absorbed coaching, and his teammates have supported him, and they've supported him by really, challenge him in practice in terms of how the scout team competes. And that's a big credit I gave to them. The scout team in the locker room was that they really prepared us where it made today much easier. So, for Connor, it's a matter of just continue to get better, and when your opportunities come, obviously everybody loves the ball going in, but I told him yesterday, I don't care about that. I want you to compete. I want you to defend, scrap, get a little scratched up and dusty a little bit, dirty, and shots will go in. And, like I said, he knows he can help this team, but he also knows that, it's more than just shooting that he has to do. So, and today I thought he did some good things, and his teammates deserve credit for helping him fight through those rough times.
Jeff? Greg, kind of probably to flip to the shooting a little bit for both Connor and Chucky, because neither guy has shot it well from three this season. I think you think both guys can do that.
Right.
How much better can that make this team more dangerous if those guys are hitting just at a decent clip?
Right. Yeah, I don't get really too wound up into what shooting statistics tell me when we get in games, because I see them every day in practice. We chart all the drills. Connor shot it really well in the drills, and Chucky has too. He's so over time, it'll work itself out. You'll have streaks where you're really good, and the thing is with this group, I just don't want to be dependent on it, that you have to have threes. That's why playing in the paint, having 36 points in the paint, we don't go to the free throw line much because you're making threes and because you're shooting almost 60%. So you're not going to get fouled a lot, but I don't want to be dependent on being one-dimensional offensively. If we make threes, great, but if we aren't, or if their teams are, able to take them away somehow, we got to find other ways, and that's the paint, that's the foul line, that's offensive rebounding, those things.
Nick, go ahead.
Hey Greg, you said in your opening statement just something about kind of the number of guys, a lot of guys contributing. Tyler talked about, I think, not having like a worry or doubt with anybody shooting a three or whatever shot. What does that just kind of say, not only your belief of some of the depth, but also their belief in each other that you've seen?
Yeah, I think they understand, and that I saw that back in the summer, and I really tried to message that consistently when we started in September, that we have a deep team, and sometimes you don't want selfishness to creep in when maybe guys aren't getting as many minutes, even the starters, as what they normally would. So just really echoing and messaging, this is about the team and what can be accomplished as a team. and they've all, to their credit, have joined in on that, and they understand in order for us to do what we wanna do, it's gonna take everybody. It's not just on game days, it's practices, it's weight room, it's all 18 guys are important to this, and they all have a role. Some of them change as the season goes on, but they have to continue to be committed to the team first and give themselves to that, to the team, and this group is doing it. I mean, and you're always, I think, in today's world of, you know, everybody talks about the transfer portal, NIL, and some of those things that they promote individualism, and you have to counter that's part of it, the world we're in. But from a coaching staff standpoint and how you want your culture, your program to be, it's still about the team is gonna accomplish big things, and when those big things happen, individuals get rewarded as a byproduct of a team being really good.
Go ahead, Ed.
I think Nebraska had like 15 steals in its last game, 16 game before that. You only end up with about 8 turnovers. Just how are you able to kind of stay as efficient as you usually are against it?
I mean, floor spacing, good decisions. The ones where we did turn it over, I know 3 times we drove baseline when we shouldn't drive baseline. You know, it's cut off how they defend schematically, shuts that off anyway. They got an extra guy at the rim or in the paint. First possession of the game was one of them where we drove and Max threw it back cross court. And it's a cardinal sin not to throw it back across the floor. But, you know, I think taking care of the ball and making good decisions is something we talk about from the day they walk in the door. That's usually the first thing they hear from me. You know, Mike Bray had an old saying he had in his locker room at Notre Dame. If you take care of the ball and go to class, you and I are gonna get along just fine. So I haven't used that one on them yet, but you know, if they take care of the ball, good things happen when you take care of the ball because you get a shot at the basket. But you have to have unselfish players and not forcing things, and there's still things we can get better at, but I like the unselfishness of this group.
Michael?
You've mentioned Connor's improvements in practice in response to the right coaching. I guess on a smaller scale, have you seen some of those same improvements with his game minutes and what he provides, even though it hasn't quite netted a 4 3-point performance like today?
I don't know how to really answer that question, Mike. I mean, Marcus Ilver's practiced well too, and I'm trying to get him in the game at times, but it's just like I said the other night. It's a blessing and a curse that we're so deep. You know, I think situationally, Connor came in and took advantage of his opportunities. We ran some things for him. Got guys in there that, you know, we were able to find the right, you know, the combination of lineups, which I'm still, because there's so many guys, I'm still trying to learn what combinations are good together, not good together, those things. So, you know, I think the credit goes to Connor because he had some things pointed out a month or so ago that he needed to get better at, and it wasn't going to happen overnight, and it's still not going to happen overnight. He's not where he can be and needs to be, but at least he acknowledged it, embraced it, and said, all right, yeah, I know I have to get better at A, B, and C, and obviously he has a skill set. He shoots ball at a high level, but he also understands for this team to be at the level we want to be at, he's got to do more than that, because we play really good teams, and you have to do more than just shoot it. You have to continue to work to become a complete player.
I think I meant more so about just if he's allotted 5 minutes, have you seen the progress like you've seen in practice with that 5 minutes each?
Well, he practices all the time. The kid never gets a break because when the scout team takes him out, I bring him over with me. So he probably, I haven't put the connects on, or had Jimmy Schneider, our strength coach, their connects on, or whatever we track. He's probably running 3, 4, 5 miles of practice. So just because he needed to get reps, he needed to guard us, we needed to guard him. I think just having that level of competition in front of him all the time, like if he's on the scout team, Max Klesman's staring him eyeball to eyeball, and that competition I think has helped Connor. And then when he comes over, you know, he's in there, he's not getting a lot of breaks with us, and I hold him accountable to guard just like I hold anybody else to. He doesn't get a pass just because he can shoot the ball. I don't give Steve Crowell a pass because he's 7 feet. You know, there's things that you have to do, and some do it better than others. But as long as you're making the attempt and compete and embrace the physicality that comes with this game at this level, then you can make good things happen. And he's trying to do that, and he made good things happen today.
In the back, and then Jeff.
Greg, especially early on too, I mean, your defense got key stops, they forced a lot of pressure, and you guys were able to move fast into transition and turn that into points quickly. You know, from a big picture standpoint, where is your belief, not only as, you know, believing that this team could be a force to be reckoned with in the Big Ten, but possibly in the nation?
Well, we have to keep getting better. You know, there's things as a coach I'll find on film on both ends of the floor we can continue to get better at. And, you know, you take what you learn out of these 40 minutes and learn from them and quickly turn the page. You can't get caught. We're not going to rest on any laurels or anything. I mean, these guys understand. If you get complacent or content, that's when somebody's going to kick you right in the teeth. So you just got to get better. And I think the level, the depth also helps us in practice because those guys compete against each other. You know, Tyler Wall's got to guard Marcus Silver and vice versa, and Steve Kral's got to guard Chris Hodges, and sometimes I throw Gilmore over on the scout team. So as long as you have competition in practice, I think that keeps iron sharpens iron. And as long as you stay competitive, and that's where the depth has helped us have better practices. So, you know, we'll only worry about the next game. I don't get. You take care of the here and now, then later, whatever later becomes, will take care of itself. But you stay in the moment and keep focusing on getting better.
Jeff, go ahead.
Greg, obviously Steven and Tyler have played a lot of basketball for you, but right now, what are they giving this team, both individually and the way they play off each other on the court?
Maturity. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's you heard me say it, you know, a lot about retention and having guys return. Not only return, but get better, and they both have gotten better. But it's maturity, and you have two bigs that are experienced, and they both pass it. I think they had eight assists, 1 turnover between the two of them, and that's always when you have bigs that can pass and are skilled like that really puts a lot of pressure on a defense, and that may be Steve's number one strength is his skill set, is his ability to pass. I mean, double teams and help and raids really, it's kind of good for us because we play 4-on-3 somewhere else. So, and he's willing to find guys, sometimes too unselfishly, but I think maturity is a big piece of those two guys in their combination.
Okay, final question for Coach. Go ahead, Michael.
Max was obviously in charge of denying Tominaga. I guess at what point when he walked into the building, you know, with the Badgers, I guess, did he start demanding those types of matchups?
I really saw his leadership kind of and his voice emerge last year, late in the year, back quarter of the season through the NIT run. I think it took him a while to really get confidence in himself that he could play at this level. I mean, with the transfer, sometimes the jump up is deeper water than you expect, but I think by the time we got to that, you know, February, mid-February, and once he got confidence in himself and really had to, you know, you can't open your mouth until you can do it yourself, you know. So by that time, he had proven it to himself and to his teammates that he, you know, could do good things at this level. And I just watched from that point on. I think he was able to use his voice, and he's a tough nut. I mean, so he wanted that. He liked the challenge of it, and you know, we got other help. I put Kamari on him for a little bit, gave him a little different look. John's a little longer. A little different look too, but you know, they use him in a variety of ways and put pressure on you. They got a big that passes pretty well too in ranked mass. So, you know, they just everybody, like I mentioned earlier, everybody has a role in the team, and Max knows what his role is and plays it pretty well.